This is a Squiz podcast. We're your shortcut to being informed.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids Today, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Amanda Bauer. It's Friday, October 21. In Squiz Kids Today, the mother of all storms, Liz Truss's terrible, horrible day, TikTok to ban kids' live streams, and the world's biggest bony fish. That's what's making news, kids style.
The lowdown.
We often use the prefix super to show that something is really good. You know, Superman, super glue. But when it comes to storms, the supercell kind is definitely not good. A supercell is often called the mother of all storms. I'm talking destructive winds, hailstones the size of cricket balls, drenching rain, flash floods, all potentially lasting for hours. I'll put a link in your episode notes to a video that explains more and has some pretty spectacular footage. So, why am I talking about supercells? Well, they're the least common of all storms, but unfortunately, the Bureau of Meteorology has said that conditions in Queensland and northern New South Wales over the next few days could produce them. Which seems particularly unfair, given all the diabolical weather they've already had. Speaking of rain, experts also announced yesterday that because mosquitoes like to breed in water, and we are definitely getting a ton of that falling from the sky, we're likely to have an extra mosquito-y summer. And yes, I know mosquito-y isn't really a word. Now, how many of you are mozzie magnets, meaning that you always seem to get the most mozzie bites out of all your friends? Well, scientists have just discovered that some people's skin produces particular chemicals that are up to 100 times more attractive to mosquitoes, meaning that if your skin emits those chemicals, mozzies will head for you first. Boo. In good news, though, the discovery means that scientists may be able to create a mosquito repellent that targets those chemicals. Now, wouldn't that be nice?
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in London, England, where Prime Minister Liz Truss has had a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. You know the book and movie, right? I'll put a link in your episode notes. While you were sleeping overnight, the British Prime Minister resigned, despite only being in the country's top job just over a month. She now has the dubious honour of being Prime Minister of Great Britain for the shortest time of any Prime Minister in the nation's history. Why did she resign? Well, she made a couple of very big mistakes at the start of her Prime Ministership. Then she sacked one of her most senior colleagues. Then she watched as other senior colleagues resigned around her. All the while, the British newspapers were describing her government as utter chaos and broken. One paper even set up a live YouTube stream of a lettuce, decorated with googly eyes and a blonde wig, saying they predicted Ms. Truss would go before the lettuce decayed. Looks like they were right. I've put a link to the lettuce in your episode notes. Yes, I know, it's not Wednesday, but we're letting Squizzy the News Hound make a special appearance today because he's got two big pieces of media literacy news. The first is that TikTok, the world's fastest growing social media app, has announced that starting next month, children will no longer be allowed to live stream on its video sharing platform. That's because an investigation by the BBC News organisation found that children in refugee camps were live streaming on TikTok and begging for money, even though the platform's rules say that you aren't allowed to ask for gifts. Believe it or not, some of those accounts were getting donations of up to $1,500 an hour, although TikTok got to keep a fair bit of that. In case you didn't know, if you buy something in the TikTok app or donate money through it, the company gets to keep some. In the last 5 years, according to a company that analyses these things, TikTok has made more than $10 billion that way. Once again, it is important to know what happens behind the scenes in social media. Thanks, Squizzy. Now, I said that Squizzy had a second piece of news, and this one is all about him. Starting today, primary school kids all over the world will be able to learn how to sniff out misinformation and disinformation with Squizzy's very own Newshounds curriculum. It's fun, it's free, and it's been a huge hit with the schools who piloted it with us last term. 100% of teachers said that their students were able to think more critically after learning with Squizzy. 100% of teachers said that they felt more confident teaching media literacy concepts. And 100% of teachers said that it was worth spending 8 sessions of classroom time to help students learn to critically consume media and then to produce a podcast of their own. So teachers, click on the link in your episode notes, create a free account, and you'll find everything you need to get started on your media literacy adventure today. Squizzy can't wait for you to join him.
Animal Kingdom.
Okay, I want you to picture a big 4-wheel drive vehicle. Now, imagine coming across a fish that weighs even more. A giant sunfish, believed to be the world's heaviest bony fish, has been discovered off the coast of Portugal, weighing a whopping 2,744 kilograms. In case you didn't know, a 4-wheel drive weighs on average about 2,000 kilos. Although the fish was found last year, experts have only just announced the finding. Giant sunfish were only recognised as their own species in 2018, and they can weigh up to twice as much as the next heaviest species, called the ocean sunfish. That is a lot of fish.
Time for the quiz.
This is a part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. What's the name of the rarest kind of storm that's threatening Queensland and New South Wales right now? That's right, it's a supercell storm. Question number 2. Which social media app is going to ban kids from live streaming? That's right, TikTok. And question number 3. About how much does a 4-wheel drive weigh? That's right, it's 2,000 kilos, 744 kilos less than the giant sunfish discovered off Portugal.
Shout outs.
It's October 21, National Pumpkin Cheesecake Day in America, National Apple Day in England, and National Nacho Day in Mexico. Pumpkin cheesecake, apple, nachos, which one would you choose? I'm nachos all the way. It's also a Friday, and you know what that means. Lots of birthday shout-outs for today and the coming weekend, for which we are definitely going to need the old birthday reggae tune. Hit it! And it's a happy birthday to these Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday today. Jorge from Shoal Bay, Blake from Raymond Terrace, Hamad from Randwick, Needy from Stirling, Violet from Eagle Vale, Liam from Hurlston Park, Lucas from Maitland, and Kristen from Preston. Belated birthday shout-outs go to Albie from Neutral Bay, Sam from Ermington, and Sky from Singleton. And not forgetting the Squiz Kids who are celebrating a birthday over the coming weekend. Sierra from Forest Lake, Anna from Kelso, Moses from Adelaide, India from Cannon Hill, Archie from Bronte, Mackenzie from Perth, Hannah from Mitchelton, Terry from Hobart, Eleonora from Ormond, and Lucy, who's listening all the way over in Oslo, Norway, and Lucas listening in Taichung, Taiwan. Classroom shoutouts go to Class 3-4A and Mr. H at Lake Bolac College, who've been waiting very patiently for their shoutout, and also to the 3-4 class at Exeter Public School, and a special happy birthday to their teacher, Mrs. Howard, for tomorrow. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout out, or if you want a classroom shout out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au. That's all we have time for. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids today. We will be back again on Monday. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.